prayers. Om Gyantimarandasya Gyanam Vinashinakaya Chakshumanitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutare Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashade Shatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauripse Namaha. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So, I want to thank all the devotees who have come today for this session, taking out their busy time and continuing the second day. And around more than 200 devotees have written the quiz yesterday. So I hope you're enjoying the sessions, and it's day 2 of our journey to Bhagavad Gita, to the last chapter on the 18th day. So keep up pace with it. So starting with today, so I'll just give a recap of yesterday, and then we start with. So if you remember the recap, so yesterday we saw how Krishna, there was a description. Dhritarashtra is asking what happened in the battlefield. Then there was a description how Duryodhana was diplomatically dealing with everything. And we learned a lesson that how when we are on God's sides, we can learn things. Then we learned that how Arjuna wanted to see who all have assembled to fight. And Krishna took the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona. And when Krishna kept the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona, Arjuna got bewildered. Arjuna says, how will I kill Bhishma and Drona? And Arjuna gives 5 reasons he doesn't want to fight for. He is in a great stress, great difficulty, Arjuna is in. Why? Because he don't know what should I do. And his Gandiva fell from his hand. He's feeling weakness. So one side, it's a good quality of Arjuna that he's a soft-hearted devotee. He's not selfish. Other side, Krishna wants to elevate him through the message of Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna is not elevating only Arjuna, he's elevating even us through Bhagavad Gita, elevating our consciousness. And the 5 reasons which Arjuna told, the first reason was compassion for his relatives. Second reason is, how will I enjoy without relatives? Third reason was, I will get sinful reactions, killing my gurus. Fourth was, there will be degeneration of tradition. People will become one Shankar, a wrong population will get produced. And the fifth reason is, I am unable to decide. I'm unable to decide. So these are the 5 reasons Arjuna told. And we will see how from the second chapter, Krishna will take each and every argument and present to Arjuna what you're supposed to do and give. And those answers will be elevating to us. And in fact, the whole Bhagavad Gita goes in a question answer module. So free to write your questions in the chat, right? So you can write your question in the chat. I will take it, and to directly to me, you can ask the questions, or to the host Vipin Prabhu or there, and you can directly ask the question. So at the end, I will take the questions and answers. Right? So we'll begin. So please catch up with me. I hope your attention is there, your video is on, and your attention is there on what we are going to discuss today, and our journey begins now. So keep hold of your breath because the second chapter is very big. Second chapter is very big and it's really going to be there. So please be with me. And we are going to be a little faster today, but keep your attention. And here we start with. The chapter name is Contents of Gita Summarize, as there are a lot of things in this. Yeah. So in the last chapter, Sanjay had said that only a kind. So the Srila Prabhupada mentioned one point. What is the qualification of enlightenment? Only a kind, soft-hearted, non-violent person like Arjuna is fit to receive self-knowledge. Now, what is the connection between chapter 1 and chapter 2? So I already told. The chapter 1, Arjuna asks the questions to Krishna that what are the reasons I will not fight? And chapter 2, Krishna clarifies them. Now, the lesson 1, we learn the absolute need for a spiritual guide. So let's see how. So Arjuna puts, now, when Arjuna kept his bow down and says, Krishna, you tell. The first little bit Krishna chastised Arjuna. Oh, Arjuna, from where this mala has come unto you? Kashmal idam. Anaryan Drishtam Asargyam. You're born in a high family and you're talking like an Anarya, though you are a Arya. And you're talking such talks which is not going to give you any fame. Klabhyam Maisma Gama Partha. Shodram Hilda Dorbalyam. You have developed weakness of heart. Give it this weakness of heart and get up. O Parantapaha, O Arjuna. So now Arjuna started to say, Oh Krishna, how can I contract in better men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship? Better I go and beg than to kill such great souls. I'm confused. I do not know what is better. Arjuna is confused. Should I dutifully fight and risk unnecessary violence? Should I refrain and live by begging? He's not able to decide. So, life, many situations come. I should do this. I should do that, and we're totally confused. And that time, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita comes to us when we are in great confusions in life. There, and Arjuna is feeling this confusion. But Krishna did not give the solution to Arjuna till the time Arjuna surrendered. Arjuna took a humble position. Arjuna says, Kaparna dosho pahata svabhava prachami tam dham sammuna cheta yashe hasya nishitam bruhi tanme shishya shadimam tam prapannam. That please accept me as your student. I surrender to you. आई डू नॉट नो, मुझको नहीं पता मेरे लिए क्या अच्छा है. मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ, ओ भगवान, ओ धर्म सम्मुचेता जिनको धर्म का पूरा ज्ञान है. मैं अपने इस प्रताप, मैं अपने इस कंफ्यूजन को, इस बिविल्डरमेंट को, आई कांट ड्राइव इट अवे. आई बिकम योर स्टूडेंट. आई कैन फाइंड नो मीन्स टू ड्राइव अवे दिस ग्रेट. अर्जुना, the chastiser of enemies, the Parantapa, then told Rishikesh, Krishna, I shall not fight, and fell silent. So actually, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Guru. So in this world, we all need a genuine Guru in life. So I'll just tell one small story. One time, one boy, he didn't have a left hand, and he wanted to learn judo from a judo master. So he goes to the judo master, then talks to the judo master, and the judo master said, "Okay, you want to learn judo? First, he gave him the painting work. Okay, do painting." So he was doing painting for 2 weeks, and he asked, "Have I come for here for painting or learn judo?" Then after 2 weeks, he calls and he says, "This boy, he taught him one death blow in judo. With the counteract of that death blow, you will come to know what's there." Then he goes with one death blow. He goes to the tournament and he defeat most of the opponents, and he came victorious. So he will give the death blow, and people try to catch his left hand. Since he didn't have left hand, there was no counteract. And then he came back to the judo master and said, "How did I win?" And the judo master said, "See, I knew your weakness. Therefore, I told you technique, the counteract for which is left hand. Since he did not have the left hand, your weakness converted to your strength. And I told you to mop the floor, paint the walls to make your right hand strong. Then I taught you this. So similarly, in our life, we need some guru, some siksha, right, who can convert our weaknesses to strength. All of us have a unique potential in life, but jab ek sadguru, but when we find the right guide in our life, the right knowledge from the scriptures, those weaknesses could become that unique potential comes out, and we can do much more in our life there. Whatever we are doing, we can do much better, and we can do everything more peacefully in a more better way. And Sri Prabhupada writes there are two types of people. One is a Kripana and one is a Brahmana. So Kripana, see, this human life is meant for a higher purpose. Just like, for example, you give a child a chocolate or 500 rupees note, what a child will take. If you give a child a chocolate and 100 rupee, 500 rupees note, what a child will catch, a small child will catch? A chocolate, right? But he doesn't know in that same 500 rupees, he can purchase 10 chocolates. In the same way, human life, we can get much time more happiness than what we are looking for. But we do not know to use human form of life, so we get just satisfied with little happiness in material pursuits. But there is a higher happiness available, and there's a difference between Brahmana and a Kripana. So Kripana just think that this human life is meant for enjoyment. But a person who's intelligent understand, yes, the nature of soul to enjoy, but in a righteous manner, in a right manner, when we look for it, we get much more without suffering. Okay. Now the second lesson, which very important lesson we're going to learn, which many of you may be aware, but let's ponder about it. So are we going to do an exercise to know who are we? Okay, if I ask a question to you, who are you? What will be your answer? What will be your answer? If I ask a question, who are you? Okay, let's everybody write. If somebody asks you, who are you? What will you answer? Please keep writing. Only very few answers have come. You can write in the chat. You can write your answers in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Good, good. Some answers have come. I'm human being trying to figure out who am I, what is my purpose. Very nice. Well, I'll tell my name. Okay. So good. So many answers came. So let's do one exercise. Are you there with me to do the exercise? So just give this 2 minutes. It's going to be something, a learning exercise for you. And I would have done this exercise with some of you in the future. You have to close your eyes for to half a minute. Just close your eyes for half a minute and remember the picnic you had gone, the last picnic in your life, which you had gone, which you are enjoying. Just closing your eyes, you remember that picnic. What you're going there, what are you doing there, how are you feeling over there. Just remember it. What you're eating, what the beautiful scene you're seeing, what the way you're enjoying. Just remember all that. You're there at that moment. Just being absorbed in that, closing your eyes. Okay. Now please open your eyes. Please open your eyes. Now I'll ask a question. I'll unmute you. So now I will do an exercise where I will unmute you and please you raise your hand if you want to answer. So my question is, where were you? Yes, Meera Mataji. You have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself. Okay. Kavita Mataji.
Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu.
Huh? Okay.
Tiruvannamalai.
So you went to your picnic spot, right? But right now you're sitting in your home. So what went to that picnic spot? Okay, Kritik. Kritik, you want to tell what went to your that picnic spot?
Your mind and your memories.
Your mind or means my
Your
mind or
mem
your mind? My mind or
uh
your mind?
my memories.
Your memories, but where those memories were?
In your
Okay.
mind.
Yes, correct. So the story is in the mind. Very nice. Okay. Anushka. Anushka Chaudhary. Uh,
I
Meera
went
Mataji, yeah,
I went to Rajasthan.
you went to Rajasthan. Okay, how you felt?
I felt very nice and happy.
Okay, you felt very nice and happy. Okay,
Yes.
Meera Mataji, you have to unmute. Then you will able to speak. And okay, Vindhya Mataji. So Vindhya, yeah. So how? Now my question is, so you felt nice by your experience, right? I'm assuming. So who felt nice? Who is that which felt nice?
I.
Who is that I? Who is that I who felt nice?
Yes, my mind felt like.
Yes. What's that? What's that? Anybody wants to answer? Yeah. Okay. What's that? That which you saw and you see it because that's where the question lies. What is our identity? And we can only be happy when we know our identity, who we are. So what is that? Yes, Akansha and uh, one second. Akanksha, yeah. Yes, you can have to unmute. Yes.
Yeah. Uh, think soul.
Yes, the right answer. So the soul felt, see, our body is here, mind can expand anywhere in the universe, and soul is an experiencer. That's me. So if you want to know who am I, the person who's experiencing each and every moment is me, the soul. And through what the soul is experiencing through my mind, through the body. Man, buddhi, ahankar consists of sukshma sharira, right? And this sthul sharira, the gross body. तो अगर हम ये चीज समझते हैं भगवत गीता में, आत्मा क्या है, मन क्या है, शरीर क्या है, then a lot of our problems can get solved because the problems come with a combination of the three on a three level in our life. There. So, so the point is the so you feel happy there, right? So the soul is always experiencing the transformations happening in the body. Now I just gave a hint how to understand who we are. Is it simple to understand who we are or no? It makes sense. Any question upon this? If any question on this exercise, I'm ready to answer. You can raise a hand, I can unmute also. Okay. Prince Prabhu, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. But Prabhu, so many devotees are telling about the mind. So what about the mind? Like mind experiencing the happiness and all
So
this
it's
thing.
the soul. See, mind, your mind mind has gone to the picnic spot, right? Through mind, you went to that spot. But who felt happy? Like suppose it says somebody hammered our hand. Then there are impulses generated in the nervous system. But who is finally feeling the pain of hammering? Is me only, na? Is that soul? So experiencer is the soul. You got the point? And that's what Krishna is now going to talk about the knowledge of Atma. So first it starts with who are you? Because unless we know who are we cannot be happy. And that's why we get happiness in this world, no doubt. But we don't get everlasting happiness. We don't get a satisfying happiness in our life till the time we understand the connection of soul to God, Atma and Paramatma. And that's where the knowledge of Gita comes. So, okay, what would be your answer? Somebody say, I'm the body, but our body is made of chemicals worth only 500 rupees. Calcium, iron, phosphorus, water content, right? Now, she's beauty queen and she passed away. The body, all parts of the body are the same. What makes the difference? What makes the difference? So, no feelings, no desires, and no thinking, and no moment, no consciousness. So it's a consciousness, but consciousness is missing because the soul has gone. The soul is gone. The time of death, the soul goes away from the body. But for soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. So we'll go further. Yeah. So Lord Krishna says, Dehino yasmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jaraha तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति धीरस तत्र न मुह्यति. So just like Krishna gives us analogy in 2.14, 2.13, Dhenu Sminitha Dehe, that how a small child, he grows, he becomes a young man. The young man grows old, and an old man dies and get another body. So if you see through this life, the body is changing. When we were 7 years old and when we are now, some maybe are above 50, but we remain the same person. We do not change. The body has changed. In fact, according to chemical science, in 7 years, your all cells of the body are changed, but you remain the same person. Then who is that person who doesn't change? So similarly, at the time of death also, the soul leaves one body and goes to another body. Right? There. So that's what Dhira Satrana Muhyati. So you're not a body, you're a spirit soul. Now, if you see this figure, as you said, where does the soul sit? Where does the soul sit? In Krishna's Hita Deshe Arjuna Tishtati. So there is a soul and there is a super soul in our heart. So just like you see this machine, the soul is watching through this machine, right? So actually, these eyes are the mechanical instrument through which we are seeing. But actually, the soul who is watching, how do I look? Soul is watching himself, how do I look through the mirror? You see why we have to see ourselves. Why we are not able to see ourselves? Because that's not we. So we see ourselves in the mirror and the soul sees it. Same way, you're hearing from the ears. The signal is going to the soul like this. And he's like a driver in this bodily machine there. And that is what is self-realization when we understand who we are. Now, a very amazing thing, what is it? Artha Shastra, Dharma Shastra, Jnana Shastra. So Arjuna had presented the arguments based on Dharma Shastra. See, Artha Shastra talks about anybody harms you, you should kill him, like aggressor. Harms him means he should be punished. Anybody's aggressor, but takes away somebody's wife, burn somebody's house, give poison, and throw him from his house. The Kauravas have done all these things to the Pandavas. So according to Artha Shastra, they should be killed. They should be punished. According to Dharma Shastra, somebody's relative should forgive. So Arjuna was giving reasons according to the Dharma Shastra, which teaches forgiveness, teaches you forgive, you should not take revenge, good person. But Krishna introduces the Jnana Shastra, Atma Shastra, the knowledge of soul. What is the dharma of the soul in that situation? So Krishna is giving a higher knowledge in Bhagavad Gita than all the other scriptures that what is the duty of the Atma. And he's talking about what's your duty. And he says, don't lament unnecessarily. The wise do not speak the way Arjuna you are speaking. And says, all of us existed always there in some body or the another. So when the soul leaves the spiritual world and comes to material world, he forgets his true identity as a soul and thinks of himself as material body. And this is the verse I discuss that how the evolution is happening. So the soul is like an unseen driver of the car. I shown that photo to you. Now this concept is very, very important. What it says, now again a question to all of you. You see this parrot dying? So why this parrot is dying? Because the lady is, and this cage is a golden cage. So what this lady is attached to the cage and polishing the golden cage. And this lady forgets to deal with the parrot. But you know what happened? Same way in our life. Like a bird in a cage, the soul is trapped in the body made of 5 elements. So can you answer the way that soul is hungry, the soul is dying, how our atmas are dying in today's day? Why we are not feeling happy in our life? What's the missing point? Anybody want to answer it? So like the soul, like the parrot is dying because of neglecting him and polishing the cage, in the same way, we are also, not feeling happy. We're also feeling a kind of emptiness in our life. And what's the reason for that? You can raise your hand and answer. I'm sure many will know. So you're not shy, please raise your hand if you know the answer of it. And speak. I gave a chance to different people. Okay. Jagdish said, Jagdish Prabhu. You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, like we are, only nourishing our body, not the soul. Nourishing the body means like we do makeup or like good food and all, everything we are doing, but we are not nourishing our soul. Soul nourishing means like meditation, like hearing to Krishna, doing kirtanas or japa malas, all those will nourish our atma. That we are not doing much.
Very nice,
So
very nice. So give a nice answer to how we are not able to nourish our soul, and which is connection to God, right? So we are like a fish out of water. So when we connect to God, so that's why learning this Gita is nourishing our soul, because we're connecting to God through this sessions, through this understanding, and we can find real happiness because of that. And that's why this concept is something very, very important to learn about the it's very important to learn about this concept and how feeding the soul is so important. Okay, now let us see some proofs that how we are in the body soul. When a person dies, what is saying he has passed away. Who's the person who has passed away? Right? Is a soul which has passed. Same way, for example, a machine sees a red flower. It can say it is red, but it doesn't feel it. But we can feel it is red. There are a lot of cases of out of body experiences and near death experiences where people have found themselves above the table, and the operation table they're able to see that who are we. There was one pop singer, Palm Reynolds in US. This lady, he had undergone a brain surgery. And due to brain surgery, her heart also stopped, brain also stopped. And when she comes out of surgery, she tells that I was somewhere gone above the table, operation table, and I was seeing that what was happening to me. In fact, she told the doctor was bringing the flesh from the left thigh. But they said, no, left thigh, need take from the right side. To that, all details she could remember. And so there was no possibility that she could remember those because in the ear, there was a big sound was going on to make the brain active that as if things are going on there. So she went out of the body, saw it, and again came in the body. So a lot of documented out-of-body experiences are there, which proves the existence of the soul, कि आत्मा होती है. And then Krishna says to tolerate the temporary duality. Sometime heat will come, sometime cold will come. So tolerate the dualities. जब आप ये सबको टॉलरेट करोगे तो क्या होगा? आपको मोक्ष मिलेगा. Equanimity is eligibility for liberation. न जायते मृत्यते व कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भवितवान् भवे अतो नित्या शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. ये शरीर जो है कभी इसका मरण नहीं, ये न जायते मृत्यते. तो जो शरीर तो मर जाता है पर आत्मा कभी नहीं मरती, आत्मा अमर है. तो जब हम मर जाते हैं हम नहीं मरते, केवल हम एक शरीर छोड़ के दूसरा शरीर ले लेते हैं. और आत्मा का कभी जन्म नहीं होता, तो शाश्वत है, हमेशा रहता है. और सबसे अच्छी बात, नो वन कैन किल द सोल. एंड आपको आई विल टेल वन ऑफ माय एक्सपीरियंसेस हाउ डिड आई केम टू स्पिरिचुअलिटी. आई वाज इन माय 12th क्लास एंड वन बॉय वाज ट्रबलिंग मी. I went to my mother what to do. Mother told, better read Hanuman Chalisa. So I started reading Hanuman Chalisa. And while reading Hanuman Chalisa, I got Bhagavad Gita in my home. And I start reading Bhagavad Gita. And when I start reading, and it talks about you're not his body, your spirit, soul. And that made so much sense to me. Ki how we are not his body, we are spirit, soul. So that made so much sense. And then it says, Nainam Shinanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavka, Na Chenam Kilamdapu, Na Shochati Maruta. That nothing, the air cannot dry the soul, fire cannot burn the soul, the weapons cannot kill the soul. And I felt all the fear went away. But moreover, when I saw how Krishna is helping Arjuna, how God helps us when we become devotee, that leads to all fear. So all fears of our life goes away when we understand who we are. There, all anxiety is fear. So knowing our real identity is very, very important in our journey of life. Unless we know this real identity, how we can make right decisions in our life? And the soul never dies. No one can kill the soul. So changing bodies similar to changing the clothes. Just like we take the old clothes and take up the new clothes. Same way, when the body becomes old, we give up the old body and we take up a new body. Another proof is past life memories. There have been many stories where people remember their past life memories. So this is Ian Stevenson. He has done research over 2,000 cases or even more of spontaneous reincarnation memories in children. And this is one of the stories of Shukla. Right? And there are hundreds of books proving reincarnation today. In fact, the phobias, some people are phobic of water, some are phobic of some weapons. So because they've been killed like that in their past life. And that's why the stories come. Right? And yeah. The soul is going from one body to another. Going from one life to another. So how we are going from one? So this Shukla remembering his past life. So this Shukla, she was born and she said, I was Meena in past life. So Shukla was a little more than 5 and she stayed in Bangar and they went to Bhatpara. She was telling that I was this in my last life, I this. So his family members actually took her to Bhatpara, the village of Bhatpara. And when they took, Shukla actually found out that who is his father-in-law. And she confused the gate because after her death, they have changed the gate. And she was taking her daughter. Now she is a young child, 5 years. And the daughter of his past life was older than her. She started taking the daughter and treating like his own daughter one day. She remembered. And she identified everybody. And the past life husband also she identified, and she became very shy also in front of the husband there. So every memory she could find out. So like this, there are many, many examples. In fact, there's a fighter pilot reincarnation with the link which we will send you in the WhatsApp. You can see later, which is another reincarnation story. So she recognized her previous lifetime house, her mother-in-law, brother-in-law, indicated Haridhan Chakravarti as her husband, the nicknames as well as real names of her brother-in-laws. Right? So this all proves that his reincarnation happened, the soul goes from one body to another. And soul cannot be cut by weapon, is insoluble, cannot be dried, impossible, so all that. Right? So now we ended the one part of our second chapter, where Krishna is telling, who are you? So Arjuna was telling, show compassion for my relatives. Krishna says, no, you are not killing them. They're changing from one body to another. There. So you do your dharma. You do your dharma. Now, this does not mean that anybody can kill anybody and say, okay, they are only changing their bodies. That is misapplication of the philosophy. You get the point. So the application of the philosophy, what was saying, that you doing your duty on the battlefield, that's very important. You do your dharma. Okay? Same way, many times questions come. If somebody does a murder, somebody does a theft, should they be punished or not punished? Right? If they are punished, they get rid of the punishment which are awaited for them after death, if they're punished by the king. Now the second section will talk about Swadharma and Paradharma, constitutional duty and conditional duty. So spiritual Swadharma versus material Swadharma, constitutional duty and conditional duty. So many times people have a question, oh, if we become spiritual, then how we will work? Or we will have to leave everything to become spiritual. No. So we have horizontal duties of this world and we have vertical duties of this world towards God. Right? So sometimes in taking care of the horizontal duties, अपने घर परिवार का जिम्मेदारी रखना, अपना ऑफिस जाना, ये भी हमारा ड्यूटी है. लेकिन एक ड्यूटी किसके प्रति, हमारा भगवान के प्रति. तो कई बार लोग क्या सोचते हैं कि अगर हम भगवान के प्रति ड्यूटी रखते हैं तो हमें घर वालों के प्रति ड्यूटी नहीं रखने का, या अगर घर वालों का ड्यूटी करते हैं तो भगवान के प्रति ड्यूटी नहीं रखने का. तो भगवान कृष्ण अर्जुन को क्या सिखा रहे हैं, हमको दोनों ड्यूटीज को फॉलो करना है. भगवान के प्रति भी ड्यूटी होनी चाहिए और जो दुनिया में सब हमारी जिम्मेदारी है उसके प्रति भी ड्यूटीज होनी चाहिए. और इन ड्यूटीज को कैसे बैलेंस करना है, किस इंटेंशन से निभाना है, किस इंटेंशन से करना है, ये भगवान कृष्ण अर्जुन को गीता में सिखा रहे हैं. और जब हम ड्यूटीज करते हैं क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं वो हमको सीखने को मिल रहा है. तो भगवद गीता एट वंस टाइम इट इज फोकसिंग ऑन द स्पेसिफिक सिचुएशन ऑफ अर्जुना, but from another angle it's talking about our life from all angles. Right there, vidya dadati vinyam om jnana mrityumandasya asto ma sadgamaya jyotirma tamsogya mrityuma mritgamaya. तो जो सच्चा ज्ञान है, जिसके लिए पहले लोग गुरुकुल में जाते थे और गुरु से सच्चा ज्ञान पाने के लिए उनका जीवन धन्य हो जाए, वो ज्ञान भगवद गीता में दिया है. But many times during our educational system, we forget to study that knowledge. And therefore we see children are becoming very naughty, are not in control of parents, not in control of teachers. We see that how people are not coming with good character, what we expect, even after going for college education, after going to all the education. We spend lakhs for children education, but not. Why? Because we're missing that true knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. There. And that's the missing link in the today's society. That there's a lot of education, a lot of colleges, a lot of things for earning money. See, there is skill producing education, but character education, the value education is there in Bhagavad Gita, which can actually elevate people, right? Which can actually elevate people. And that's what the knowledge we are looking for in the pages of Bhagavad Gita. And to gain that knowledge, you need a patience, right? It may not come. We need some Patience. And that's why there's 18 chapters, 18 days, we go. And there's assimilation. And whatever you're assimilating, you're not able to assimilate 100%. Whatever assimilating is gaining day by day. And when you take a Gita in your hand and you read it, you realize it, how beautiful it is, this knowledge. Okay, so let's talk about what are these two duties. So what? Many times people say, okay, hum Sanatan Dharmi. Sanatan Dharma means what? What is means Sanatan Dharma? Dharma means that which cannot be given up. That is called Sanatan Dharma. तो ये नहीं हिंदू धर्म है, क्रिश्चियन धर्म है या मुस्लिम धर्म है. अब ये बताइए आत्मा क्या है? आत्मा क्रिश्चियन है, मुस्लिम है, हिंदू है? आत्मा ना तो क्रिश्चियन है, ना मुस्लिम है, ना हिंदू है. अच्छा, जब भगवत गीता बोली गई 5000 years before, Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Which religion do exist? Only Sanatan Dharma, right? Islam came 1300 years before. Christianity came 2000 years before. Judaism came 2500 years before. The Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5000 years before. And that time, everybody has one religion called Sanatan Dharma. And this is coming from the dawn of creation. Then later on, the Muslims would call, the people who are coming from Turkey and others, they will call, okay, those who are beyond this Hindu Kush, people are Hindu. It was Hindu, so Hindu, it became Hindu, Hindustan. So Hindu, that's where the name Hindu came. But actually everybody was a Sanatan Dharma there. So we all belong to the Sanatan Dharma. When Bhagavad Gita was spoken, it was one Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means the eternal religion of the soul with it. And soul is same, whether the person is born in a Christian family, Hindu family, or a Muslim family. There is only one soul, one quality of soul, right? And that's why you see dharma can be changed. A Muslim can become a Hindu, Christian can become a Hindu, Hindu can become a Muslim, Hindu can become a Christian. That gets changed. That is faith. But the real dharma of the soul never changes. Just like dharma of sugar, dharma of there. So spiritual happiness comes from survivorship to Lord. So our spiritual dharma, Sanatana Dharma, is to worship God. And material happiness comes from executing one's material dharma, prescribed duty. So now, Arjuna's second argument, what is, how will I enjoy if my all relatives are killed? And Krishna is evaluating. If you win, you get a kingdom. If you lose, you go to heavenly planets. And that's what the Vedas talk about, is some soldier fight on the battlefield bravely for a good cause. Then even they die, they go to heaven and enjoy there. If they're fighting for a good cause, if they're fighting for dharma and fighting in a dharmic way. And that's why previously battles will happen. They won't kill civilians. Today's most of the wars, civilians are killed than the soldiers. Right? But previously, in Mahabharata war, you don't see civilians are killed, only soldiers were killed. Plus, there were a lot of rules of battlefield that even Arjuna could go to the camp of Duryodhana in the night, free from fear that they will attack us. And that's why Ashwatthama was condemned, because he killed people in the night sleep. That was not allowed. So because the war was fought according to dharma, for a dharmic cause, when people die, they actually go to heaven. There. So when 99 Kargil war happened, so many of the soldiers who were going for the war, they were reading the shloka of Bhagavad Gita, because they don't know they will be alive or not. And that gives so much hope that we are fighting to save our country, so it has a greater cause. But that's again a metal. And then Arjuna Krishna evaluated. Krishna said, oh, if you do not fight as per your prescribed duty, that will be the sin. So you're thinking that you will commit sin by fighting? No, by not fighting you will commit sin. And plus what people will say, oh Arjuna अपने आप को इतना बनता था, ये तो एकदम पूरा वो निकला. He couldn't do anything. Arjuna will not able to tolerate a dishonor. So Krishna is showing him that don't think there's a loss of enjoyment. Krishna is showing if you don't fight and run away, there is a lot of loss of enjoyment. The war. So do your Swadharma. So dharmam api chavekshyah na vikampitumarasi dharmyadadi yuddha shreyo kshatriyasya na vidyate. So these are the reasons Krishna gave that okay, if you run away from battlefield, you will get sin, you will attain infamy, and people will criticize you. अरे ये अर्जुन किसी काम का नहीं था, भाग गया. What will happen to your fame? So do your duty. So if you see, this is a whole. So Arjuna did not want you to find compassionate friends. Soul and body are different. You're not killing relatives, only the body. They are changing the body. No enjoyment, even if victorious. No, you will win earth or heaven. Fear of sinful reactions, right? Okay, now the question will come: fear of sinful reaction. I said falling in Kshatriya and Kshatriya duty is sin. The next verse talks about very beautiful. This 38. What he says: Sukhe dukhe same kritva labho labha jayo jayo tatho yuddhaya yussava nevam papam vapsasi. If you see happiness and distress equal, victory or success, victory or failure equal, then while doing your duty like this, while fighting, you will not get sick. Right? So, how to do our duty? This verse is talking about with what mood and with what consciousness one should do his duty. हमें अपना तो जो हम अपना काम करते हैं उसमें जो हमारी intentions होती हैं वो भी बहुत important होती है. राइट जो हम काम करते हैं, देखिए एक तो जो हमें सही काम करना है, फिर जो हम अपना ड्यूटी करते हैं उसमें जो इंटेंशंस होती है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है करके. देर अगर हम सही काम कर रहे हैं लेकिन दूसरे को परेशान करने के लिए कर रहे हैं, हमको दंड मिलेगा करके. राइट, तो हमको दंड मिलेगा. आपको एक स्टोरी बताता हूँ, बहुत अच्छी है लेकिन बहुत बड़े. एक बार एक राजा ने ब्राह्मणों को बुला के दावत दी, पर क्या हुआ जब वो खाना बना रहा था तो ऊपर से एक ईगल आई, सांप नीचे गिर गया खाने में और खाना खा के ब्राह्मण लोग मर गए. अब अगले साल ब्राह्मण आ रहे थे, अगले साल कोई ब्राह्मण खाना खाने आ रहे थे, दावत अगले साल फिर राजा ने दावत दी और कुछ ब्राह्मण खाना खाने आ रहे थे. और तब जब ब्राह्मण आ रहे थे तो एक बुढ़िया ने बोली, अरे राजा के पास मत जाओ, राजा हत्यारा है करके. अब क्वेश्चन ये आया कि इसका पाप किसको लगेगा? ब्राह्मण जो मरे, इस ब्रह्म हत्या का पाप किसको लगेगा? कुक को लगेगा जिन्होंने खाना बनाया, या ईगल को लगेगा जिसने सांप को गिराया, या सांप को लगेगा जिसकी बॉडी से वो हो गया, या राजा को लगेगा जिसने सबको बुलाया? किसको ज्यादा पाप लगेगा? तो फिर आंसर में आया या तो देखो, किंग की एक गलती थी कि उसको खाने पे कवर लगाना चाहिए था, तो इसलिए उसकी तो इनफेमी हो गई, लोग बोलने लगे अरे किंग ने कर दिया, तो किंग का पाप तो ऑलरेडी चला गया. फिर कुक्स को भी थोड़ा देख के और करना चाहिए था, कुक्स की भी गलती थी. लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा पाप लगा उस बुढ़िया औरत को जिसने ये कंक्लूड किया कि किंग हत्यारा है, जिसने उसको क्रिटिसाइज किया. तो जब हम अपनी ड्यूटी करते हैं तो हमें बहुत कॉशियस रहना है कि हम लोगों को ब्लेम ना करें अननेसेसरली, लोगों को वो ना करें. So these are important, very, very. So what I'm saying is they're refined principles of life. So Krishna is saying, for Arjuna, if you fight for winning, for enjoying the kingdom, and then you kill Bhishma and Drona, you may get sin. But if you are only fighting on my order, only because your duty of a Kshatriya to gain justice, then even if you kill Bhishma and Drona on the battlefield, you will not get sin. It's very subtle. And even you see a soldier, if a soldier comes and kills a civilian, he will be put in the jail. But a soldier kills on the battlefield, he will receive Paramvir Chakra. Because here he is doing on behalf of the government, and here he is doing on his behalf there. So because you're doing on the behalf of Dharma, you will not get sin. But if you do on your behalf, you get sin. So very, very, very beautiful understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad is very, very deep. I hope you're realizing the deepness. So do buddhi yoga, and what you do buddhi yoga, that you are freed from karma bandhana. Like now Bhagavad Gita talks about, like when we do work, We feel frustrated, we feel tension, we feel stress. In relationships, we feel stress. In husband-wife relationship, there's a stress. Children gives stress. Why there is so much stress? And then Bhagavad Gita is going to the root cause, how you should perform your duty so that you are not stressed out. But you blissfully, blissfully you could, blissfully you could live your life. Blissfully you could live your life. That's what the Karma Yoga Krishna is teaching. And this Buddhi Yoga is talk about, see, like yesterday I gave example. There are many, many zeros, right? In our life, what we're doing. If you put one, make Krishna as the center, then what happens? Everything becomes a divine work. And that's what Krishna is talking about. Karmane, like you heard this verse. Karmane vadikareshtu ma phaleshu kadachan ma kanfal hetugu mate sangas karmani. So Krishna is talking about this whole process of Karma Yoga. Or Karma Yoga offered to him. Karma Yoga offered to him. So हम जो भी करते हैं, whatever we do, we should do it for God. Make God as a center there. And what brings frustration in our life? When we have expectations, right? Any relationship you take, most of the time frustration is due to a lot of expectation in that relationship. Even when we do work, we get frustrated with work with a lot of, because we have a lot of expectations of results. Results don't come, we get frustrated. So this process of Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna is teaching is Karma Yoga, work with a goal in mind. Don't be lazy, work hard. We'll see how it comes. And one who practices is Bhakti Yoga, which is this Buddhi Yoga, which is for talk about. And when you do this Bhakti Yoga, there is a Buddhi Yoga, there is no loss in this yoga. Even you do little bit it, you will be relieved from the greatest danger to get animal body and you get a human form of life. And those people who are in this path, they have only one-pointed intelligence. But those who are attached to the Vedas, Vedas means do this puja for this benefit, do this puja for this benefit. Their intelligence is multi-branch. But those who understand we are worshipping God only for our purification, for attaining something higher. They have their Sattvika Buddhi. With whatever they do, and people who are attached to opulence, bhoga, and Aishwarya to enjoy cannot have one-point intelligence. Their mind will fall somewhere here, somewhere there, and their mind and senses will not be controlled. And therefore, to dutiful work with detachment to results. Do your work nicely, have a goal. For example, you see Hanumanji. Hanumanji had a goal to find Mother Sita, but he was dependent upon Lord Ram and gave all credit to Lord Ram for doing this seva. So Lord Ram had told to find Sita. So Lord Ram said, Are Hanuman, I told to find Sita, but you did extra seva of burning Lanka. Then Hanumanji said, Are Lord, you only found Sita through me, and you only inspired me to, you made a situation by which the Lanka gets burned. So, see, there's a meaning of this verse, Karmanam Adhikareshtu, right? It means be detached from results, not goals. So we have a right to do work. What it refers to means work is performed in the world not only for material result but also spiritual result. Why? Because when we work, we get purified, right? We grow in wisdom. Ma Phaleshu Kadachan means we don't have a right for fruits of karma. Doesn't mean that one does not care for the result. He works hard for the goal. It is a result which motivates us, and it's not wrong if we seek a particular result. So we do our duty not just for result, but we do our duty because we know that through that we will get purification and liberation. So our primary objective is to please Krishna. Even if result doesn't come out, Krishna will see the intention and will be pleased. And first level of detachment, I'm not attached to the result. Second level of detachment, do not think that you're producing the result. Ma kan phal hetu. One should not think himself producer of the fruits. That means do not think that you are the only cause of the result. There are other people who did it. In this way, one can remain detached. Mate sangos karmani. Do not be attached to not doing work. We should not be attached to inaction because action only purifies us. There. So what does it mean? See, whenever we do any work, we are not the only doer, right? Results don't depend in our hand. A child can study in the exam, but does who makes the question paper? The teacher. Now, what the child is studying and what the teacher is giving in the question paper should match. If teacher gives a very hard question, child cannot get good marks, isn't it? Then sometimes, even while doing the exam, child will make a mistake, then he may not get the marks. So results are not always in our hand, but working hard may be in our hand. So therefore, seek the goal, not the results. Then second, even when we are doing things, it is the Lord who is giving us the intelligence, the right intelligence. It is the Lord who is providing all the situations to us. Like who is giving us food? Who is giving us the sun to produce, to give light? Who is giving us the food which we eat? Is God. So God is arranging all the resources for us in our life, and we cannot claim it to ours. We offer it to God. And this is the definition of real yoga. And you see how Hanumanji dealing with everything, dealing with the Lord of his life, dealing with the board of love and divine mother, dealing with superiors with obeisances and prayers. So Hanumanji is a servant of Lord Ram, Jai Shri Ram. And the Hanumanji is so powerful, he's taking great delight in serving Lord Ram. So when we dovetail all our activities in the service of the Lord, we feel happy and joyful. And that is the life of Hanuman. Jai Shri. And therefore, Krishna says to Arjuna, reject all abominable actions, dureni abhan karma. And now the last section which we are going through is Atma Rama. Who is a self-realized person? But Krishna already talk about. Now the three reasons we saw, okay, compassion for relatives, you are not a body, you are spirit soul. I will not able to enjoy, Krishna showed him, if you run from the battlefield, you will suffer more. But if you fight, you die, you go to heaven, you win, you enjoy the kingdom. Then Arjuna had said, I will get sinful reactions. Krishna said, if you do your duty without desire to enjoy the kingdom, you will not get sinful reactions because you're doing your dharma. For example, soldier killing in the battlefield is sinful? No, it is his duty and he gets a reward for it. And the fourth is the traditions will destroy. Krishna is saying the real knowledge is bhakti yoga. Their knowledge is buddhi yoga. You perform your karma for purification of heart, the knowledge which I am giving. And don't too much bother about the traditional things or the Vedas. The Vedas talking about do this puja for this, do this puja for gaining this. Don't worry about those things. Worry about that. Plus, if you spread dharma, all women will be protected. And further, Krishna gives that answer in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And indecision, Krishna is saying, Vyavsayatmika buddhi. If you follow this buddhi yoga, your buddhi is one. You will not get confused. So, like the Krishna is answering all the questions through this philosophy, which is available for us. Now, Arjuna is asking, okay, Lord, you're talking about this buddhi yoga, which is directed towards the knowledge of Atma. But how do I know who is a self-realized person? How do I know who is a self-realized person? Same way, many times we want to know who is the right guru whom I can take guidance from, or who is the right person, right parampara thing. So Krishna is talking about the qualities of a self-realized soul over here. And Arjuna is asking three questions. How does he sit? How does he speak? And how does he walk? Because you want to know what is the speciality of a person who is self-realized. वो कैसे बोलता है, क्या बोलता है, कैसे बैठता है और कैसे चलता है. But इसका बहुत subtle meaning है. This is a subtle meaning. Now, so Arjuna says, का भाषा, what are his general symptoms? Like when he is in trouble, does he criticize others, curse others, or he tolerates them and does something positive? What is his general system? What he speaks when tribulations come? How does he speak? So first is general symptoms, ka bhasha. What is general symptoms? Then when praise or blame will come, affection or hate come, what will he say externally? How does he speak? Then how does he restrain his senses from the sense object? This is the meaning of how does he sit? And how does he walk when sense objects come? How does it respond to them? And that's the quality of his Sthita Pragya, what Krishna is answering through. And which is very, very amazing. And then Krishna says, he gives up all mental desires of sense gratification born of mental concoction. He is purified in mind, one point satisfaction, self-control. That means a person who is self-life, he won't be watching TV, movies, and things because he's taking more pleasure in chanting Hare Krishna. That's a sign of a self-life person, which you can find with there. That he's happy with himself. He doesn't need the pleasures of this world. And he may take his prasadam, he may sleep, he may follow things. See, he may not be a big tapasvi, but he's happy in himself, Atma Rama, right? There. So he knows his relationship with the Lord, that I am Krishna's servant. And he's satisfied with God, with the process of bhakti, right? There. That the devotee offer all his activities to Krishna. And what is the beauty when we come to Krishna? Krishna personally takes interest in his devotee's life. Krishna there. And Krishna gives happiness and bliss to his devotee. And now the second question comes, how does he speak? He's equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anger. There. He speaks only of Krishna or of matters relating to him. Now the third question was, how does he sit? That means how does he control his senses? So he controls his senses like a tortoise. When there is an opportunity for sense gratification, he withdraws his senses. And when he is in association of devotees, he take out his senses and dance, chant, eat prasadam, and does everything there. So that's why he controls his senses like a tortoise. And third question is, how does he sit? How he control his senses? So he uses his senses only for Krishna's service, and he gets a higher taste. So many times people think that if somebody is practicing bhakti, following rules and regulations, they're living a very austere life. But that's not the case. So what happens? They're living a more happy life because they're getting a higher taste in the process of devotional service. Okay, so now it's already 9 o'clock and still 20 verses are remaining there. So one option is I can put it tomorrow's session. In the third session, we can cover it up and get it. I don't want to late night. All of you had a working today and still many of you have joined. And that shows your enthusiasm. So should I take now or should I continue tomorrow? Probably in the third chapter is it. Second chapter is the biggest chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So I said, okay, so they were saying, so tomorrow I will take, but now I will take the questions and answers, right? And before that, there are some announcements, I think, and then we'll have a question answer session. But so beautiful, the second chapter. I didn't come to know how it became 9 o'clock. But I don't know if you're tolerating me, but this message of Bhagavad Gita is very special.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. It's a great fortune to hear Bhagavad Gita, from you. So just a couple of announcements to devotees. Thank you very much for joining in for the second day. Tomorrow we will resume the third day, the third chapter. We request devotees to kindly rename themselves in Zoom as per their full name. So we will have the attendance as we had requested earlier, as mentioned earlier. So kindly rename yourself in Zoom as per your full name, what you want on the certificate. So we will be taking Zoom attendance and the quiz attendance and matching them, and it'll be going forward. And from tomorrow onwards, as I mentioned earlier, sign in would be compulsory, which would be easy for you. So if you have any questions now, kindly over to Vrajakrishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Okay, I think there are not much questions in the chat, so devotees can raise hand and ask the questions. So anybody has a question, you can raise your hand and ask a question. Okay. Yes, Anushka. Okay, you're unmuted, Anushka. Yeah.
Actually, we are joining in one phone only. Then certificate will be different or in one only, like that.
Certificate will be based on quiz.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Sarika? Sarika ma'am? Yeah, you have to unmute yourself. Yes.
Hello, Radhe Radhe Guruji.
Radhe Radhe.
My question is, you said that soul change bodies, right?
Huh?
Souls change body. They keep changing the bodies, right?
Yeah.
But we don't remember any past life. Means,
Yes.
we don't remember what we did. We are changing bodies, but still we don't remember what we have done in the past life.
Yes, this is a
What
good
is the
question.
reason behind it?
I'll ask a question. If
Because
some
soul is same. Soul is
Ye-
same. It is experiencing
yes,
the same thing.
yes.
Remember anything?
So now my question is what? Do you remember what you ate when you were 1 year old? Uh, yeah. Do you remember what you ate when you were 1 year old? Sarika? Okay, I think. See, we don't remember what we ate when we were 1 year old. We do not remember what we wear. So even in this lifetime, we don't remember so many things, right?
Yeah,
Plus,
Guruji.
yeah.
Sorry,
Plus,
sorry, I was not able to unmute.
so we don't remember, right? Now,
Yeah.
if something bad has happened in your life, do you want to forget it or remember it?
So definitely, I don't want to remember, but definitely
Like,
there will be
like,
some memories
yes, yes,
which are very close to us, which will be
ah,
very close to our soul, but we
yes,
don't remember anything.
yes. So that's what I'm saying. If we remember our past life, we will become miserable in this life.
That's okay.
Because of all these people who remember their past life, now they were thinking of their last life family and this life family. And they're not able to do duty to any of the proper family there. But if one is a devotee and if he remembers past life, then it is beneficial. When it comes to the 8th chapter, I will tell you another devotee past life case story, where the devotee became a sincere devotee because of remembering the past life. So, two reasons. One thing, we don't remember what we did in the childhood, then what to remember of before childhood. Second reason is if God gave us those memories, the life will not be, you cannot peacefully live in this life also. Because when you get memories, not only you get good memories, you get bad memories also. How you were killed in the past life, what injustice happened, what's the family. So whole life becomes messed up. Especially the people who remember, the people who had a very traumatic death, accidental death. They're the people generally carrying the next life, memory in the next life. And God, Krishna gives us ways to tell us, okay, the incarnation happens, there is a journey of the soul from one body to another. Okay. Khushi has a question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you just mentioned that during the today's session that whatever body experiences, suppose if I'm in a wave pool and then if I experience that, so that is what the soul, right? So soul is experiencing. So that means whatever, I mean, I should be experiencing all the good things. I mean, whatever I feel good, if I experience those things, then bodily experiences. So my soul will, will feel happy.
Now that's the point, sir. Now I'll ask a question to you. If you bring a new Mercedes Benz and somebody hits it, how will you feel?
Obviously, I don't feel nice, so I feel bad.
And then we're fighting also with a person. Right?
Yes.
Now, if you're going in a Ola Uber and somebody hits, what will you do?
Nothing much. I will change the next
Change the cabin.
cab. Yeah.
Now, same incident is happening. One side gives you great reaction and one side doesn't give you reaction. Because one side you are identifying the car, it's my car, ahankar. So that ahankar, the soul is covered by the ahankar, due to which he thinks body is to be owned. And if the body enjoy, the soul is not enjoying, but soul thinks is enjoying. For example, you see a movie and somebody crying in the movie, you also start crying, but nothing is happening to you. You're immersed in the movie.
Yeah.
Identifying it. So because we're identifying the body with the body, so with that happiness and distress, we are right dealing with it. So therefore, when our mind is absorbed in God, in this world through God, then what happens? We transcend and become more happy in our relationship with God. Food for the Soul. And as we continue, we discuss what is this food for the soul, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice question.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay. Unnati Nirmal.
Yeah, hi, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This question might not be related to today's session. However, I have been wondering for a very long time that um, what is the state of moksha that we talk about all the time?
Yeah. So now when we say moksha, says means liberating from the cycle of birth and birth, right? The soul is going from one body to another and is forced to accept another body. And another body means some happiness will come, some misery will come. So we are always having a mixed happiness and distress due to our attaining newer and newer body. But the time you attain your spiritual body and go to spiritual world, that's a moksha. And you're liberated from all suffering. You don't have to suffer that. That's the meaning of moksha.
So, does that mean that it was Krishna's wish to impart us from himself and give us lessons of this world, something like that?
It's
Because
not Krishna's desire, it was our desire to try to live separate from Krishna. And once we realize we cannot live separate from Krishna, then we do bhakti and we go back. And as subsequent session, we'll discuss more upon it. I think we can keep it till here. There. Okay, so there are a few more questions. Survi Gupta have written from PFR. My question is that we come to know soul can't be converted to pieces, it can't be burned. But why does it feel pain which is happening to body or mentally? The soul is experiencing it and is feeling also. But actually, soul doesn't happen. But at the same time, now, should we not protect our body? We have to protect our body because this body is a vehicle given by God by which we realize Him. So, till the time we realize Him, we need this vehicle, we need this body to realize Him, and we protect this body. We keep this body healthy. But the purpose of keeping this body healthy to realize who are we and what is my relationship with God. That's the point we are talking about. So yes, when you are liberated, you may not experience, but till the time we are there, we may experience there. So the soul experiences and it feeling also. By feeling in the sense of identifying. Like suppose you see India-Pakistan match and India loses, you feel pain. But nothing has happened to you. But why are you feeling pain? Because you're identifying with it. So same as the soul is identifying with that pain. There. Is the personality defined by the soul? No. The subtle body defines the personality of the person. The desires remain with the soul. No, we don't advise to know what happened in the past life. If somebody has a stress, that's a different thing. But generally, better understand the philosophy of karma. Okay, why does karma come behind for past life as well? Because of the subtle body is the same. We will see this in the karma chapter when we talk about. We'll see about karma also. See what happens in from past life to this life. Our mentality remains the same. The body changes, and therefore, some people, some children, you will see from childhood also they have a very criminal type mentalities because they're carrying from the past. Some children, even born in good families, you may find they may have very bad, and they may get into bad association easily, drink liquor, and do all that. But it's coming from the past, so they pick it up very fast. And some boys, even born in a bad family, they may have good sanskar because they carry from the past. So the reactions come to purify our mentality there. So that's how the past karma affects us. Same way, past piety, past good work also what we have done is given to us. So because we have a good mentality, the good reactions are coming. So therefore, as we change our mentality by worshipping God, becoming humble, becoming better relationship with others, our reactions also go away by the mercy of God, by changing the mentality. Okay, Akansha single.
Guruji, I just wanted to ask a question. So you gave an example that, for example, a person is buying a car, he'll have some hint of ahankar in him. Similarly, because we are living in such a materialistic world, we might be buying different items at different stages of our life, and we'll continue to have this ahankar in us. So, can you please suggest how can we get rid of it? Some practical steps that we can maybe follow in our day-to-day activities.
Very, very good question. Very practical question. How to get rid of ahankara? So see, when we don't know who we are, that is ahankara, isn't it? So the process by which we know who we are is a process to mitigate ahankara. Now we are small, God is great. So when we realize God and we worship God, that ahankara goes away. And that's why you will see in the 9th chapter, Krishna talks about the process of worship him. Manmanavamdato madedimam namaskaru. So more we realize God, more we understand we are small, and more our ahankara goes away. Right? More our ahankara goes away. So this is what is required in our life, that we start chanting the holy names of God. In this Kali Yuga, the way to realize God is chanting his holy names, doing his Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita, and that's a way of removing ahankara. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Shri Bhakti Nagesh.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question is not related to this chapter, but like there were 5 Pandavas. So why only Arjuna got the chance to listen to Bhagavad Gita and not Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadev, or Bhim? When Yudhishthir is the eldest Pandava.
Yeah. See, Krishna says, Bhakti aso sakama cheti. So you are my bhakta and you are my sakha, therefore I am giving this knowledge to you. And Arjuna was completely surrendered to Krishna. Even, when Arjuna was sleeping and Krishna came to, massage his body because very tired. And when Krishna put his ears, so Bhima was thinking, what Krishna is doing with Arjuna. Then Krishna told Bhima to put his ears over the body of Arjuna. Even while Arjuna was sleeping, from every room of Arjuna coming, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So he was such a great devotee of the Lord that never forgot Krishna at any moment of time. And that's why Krishna gave this knowledge to Arjuna there. Other reason is, say, Arjuna was in Sakya relationship with the Lord, where Yudhishthir was like an elder brother. Krishna is giving. So Krishna is giving this knowledge to Arjuna because he was very attached to Krishna. Okay, Jagdish Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question is you shown one video where soul gets different forms of body, right? Human to like animal, it can be anything, and that depends on our present karma, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now, if you see, this is like Kali Yuga running now, right? And if you see, many people are doing wrong karmas. That is what we believe, right? In Kali Yuga. So that means, if you see the population, right? People will not get the human body again, right? In this Kali Yuga, if you analyze, because of wrong.
People will not get what?
Human body. Because of.
But still, your question is still the population is increasing.
Still, India population, if you see, it is increasing day by day.
So this is a good question. See, if there are 100 children in 10th class and only 20 pass out, then next year how many children will be there in the 10th class? 180. Because 9th class children will also get, right? So there are already people who have an animal, they have gone to the animal species and they have to come back to human life. So they are coming to human life. Some are degrading population going to animal life, some remaining humans, and very few going above. Since because very few going above, the human population is increasing.
Okay, so other animals also are coming to human body.
Yes, and plus the humans are not upgrading, right? So they are remaining human only or going animals. So that's why the population is increasing. Thank you. Yes. I think this is the last, already is 9:20. One last question. We will end it and there. Okay, one last question. Anyone has a last question? Otherwise, we end it here. So thank you so much for joining us until the end. And we'll again come tomorrow, 8 p.m. And tomorrow is a very beautiful lessons on karma, karma yoga, and the three modes. So we'll see many, many things.